Okay, so let's start to get into the meat and potatoes of this. We're going to talk about the parts of the chart that you really need to know first. You know, all of these numbers, all of these symbols, the astrology, the gates, the channels, the line values, all of that stuff is really great stuff to know as you begin to differentiate. That's a human design term. You're differentiating yourself from everybody else so that you can make your unique contribution. But that comes later. So if you've done those internet searches, put them aside, close the browser windows. Let's look at what you need to know first. The first thing you want to do, and I'm going to preface this by saying I'm going to show you the first thing second, so just bear with me, okay? The first thing you want to do is understand your keynotes, and in particular, you're going to want to pay attention to your type, your strategy, and your authority. And as I pointed out on a previous slide, the keynotes are down here at the bottom. And we'll talk about all of these things in enough detail where you can start to familiarize yourself with what your keynotes mean and what that means about your chart. In order to talk about these keynotes, and in order for you to kind of understand with a little depth what these keynotes are about, you need to be familiar with the energy centers, with what these centers mean, because that's the context through which you're going to be able to understand some of these keynotes. So this is the second thing that I'm going to put first. As we move into the next phase, we're going to talk about your energy centers first, just to lay the groundwork for our vocabulary about the keynotes. So then, once you get the keynotes down, you kind of have an overview of what the energy centers mean. You need to release the need to figure everything out at once. The thing that you need to get down first is your own alignment. And that's in understanding your type, your strategy, and your authority. As you begin to work with that, you're going to naturally align with who you are, what's expressed on your chart, so that that magnetic resonance that's attracting you to things, attracting you to life, attracting you to people and your environments and your opportunities, that's going to be more palpable, more clear, and you're probably going to see a lot of the stress in your life and a lot of the resistance in your life begin to fall away or soften. So in addition to releasing the need to figure everything out at once and just focusing on alignment, keep in mind that you need to give yourself a good 7 years. In traditional human design, we call this the 7-year deconditioning process, because over time, with living life, trying to fit into other people's boxes, trying to contort yourself to get the kinds of success that you feel you need or other people are telling you is important, trying to just sometimes survive, you take on a whole lot of conditioning from how you were trained as a child, how your parents raised you, what your teachers taught you, even who you're around, like your partner, like your family members. You've taken in a lot of their conditioning influences, and you've absorbed that at a cellular level. The body cells turn over completely about every 7 years. So that's the reasoning behind the 7-year deconditioning process. It takes 7 years for your cells to turn over. And as you go into this process of your own alignment with your authentic being, as your cells turn over, they become more attuned to who you really are. So give yourself 7 years to really kind of work your way through this. There's no rush. You're not missing anything. And most people really only go through those first few steps of understanding their strategy and their authority and what it means to be their type. And they're good. You know, they're good for 7 years. And then if you've really been bitten by the bug, you want to go deep. And I totally get that. I totally understand that because that's where I am in my journey as well. But it takes a while. And if you get caught up in all of the deep stuff before you really allow yourself to open up, release your mind's need to kind of get it all in at once and get it right and control the process and whatever that is, you're going to miss your real foundation and the real point of what this system is about and how it can truly assist and support you. So take a deep breath. It's a process. It's not an event.